Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
I'm Carol Messer, along with Jess Metton. Let's get to some stock movers. This past week, we know the markets overall having a good week, a more bullish week, but let's get to some of the stocks on the move. Bloomberg News equities reporter Carmen Reinecke with our stock movers for the week. Where shall we start?
Yeah, let's start with Apple. I think this is one of the biggest stories of the week. Ticker AAPL. Shares are up 13% this week, which is the best weekly performance since July 2020 for Apple.
That's amazing.
Huge.
Yeah.
Really amazing. So what powered it this week is that President Donald Trump announced Apple plans to spend an additional $100 billion on domestic manufacturing in a bid to avoid some of the tariffs, which has been an overhang to the shares, along as sort of investors wanting more information about their artificial intelligence plans. I think this is really interesting because one of the things I've sort of been thinking about with all the trade war stuff is that Apple had an exemption the last time around, and that was something that really benefited the company and the stock. So we're maybe starting to see a little bit more of Apple picking up, getting some movement back in the shares. It's been a laggard this year. It's lagged both its Mag 7 peers and the market overall.
Still down 8.5% year to date. Even with that bump up.
Yeah.
Right?
I was going to say on the flip side of things, Eli Lilly, what a brutal week.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So Eli Lilly, ticker LLY, shares are down 18% this week. This is the worst week for the company since 2008.
That's bad.
It's bad.
Down 19% this week. Yeah.
I think that was a dramatic pause.
It was a dramatic pause.
Okay.
It was.
You have to double check because you look at it and you're like, wow, 19% worst week since December 2008.
That is pretty rough.
I did have to double check this one. But yeah, so what investors are reacting to here is disappointing data on Eli Lilly's weight loss pill. Obviously, the GLP-1s, the weight loss drugs, have been a huge thing that have lifted Eli Lilly's shares. It's sort of been the leader in this market that's supposed to be $95 billion by 2030. And this pill, which is sort of the next step from right now, it's an injectable form, was really the next step. And so basically it showed lower weight loss and higher rates of some of the side effects that people don't want, so like nausea, than anticipated. And so that really overshadowed what was otherwise pretty solid results from the company in the last quarter. And actually also boosted shares of Novo Nordisk, one of the competitors in the space.
Want to do the last one with her?
Yeah, I'm the worst performer for the S&P 500 on Friday, Trade Desk.
Yes, we really couldn't, end this week without talking about Trade Desk, ticker TTD. So shares were down 39% just today, which was a record drop. That pushed the total weekly drop also to a record, the worst since 2016 for the company. Basically what happened is the company reported results in a forecast that sort of failed to impress Wall Street analysts, but really what they're latching on to is a worry about competition from Amazon. Basically, they're worrying that they're not sort of addressing this competition, and I think one of the things that really kept this rally going was that an analyst asked the CEO about competition from Amazon on the call, and he kind of dismissed it and said, walled gardens, Amazon or Google are best suited to buy their own inventory with their own data. And so analysts are just really worried about that.
Some good stocks.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.